Do you want your graphics settings to go from dull, boring where you can't see anything, to vibrant, colourful and sharp? Just watch.
We need your help!
Right, so firstly, and probably the most important part of this is the NVIDIA filters. I'll show you these now. All you've got to do is press Alt-Z on your keyboard. Press game filter, then you get 3 style options. I always put it in option 1, that's just personal preference. I don't think it matters, but it's the only one I use. And you want to add 3 different filters, and the filters need to be in this order. You can change the order of how I've just done it now. So details, color, then brightness and contrast. So for details, you want sharpen at 70%, clarity at 70%, HDR tone at 60%, and take bloom all the way to 0. So let's take a screenshot of that. And then for the color settings, this is what's going to give it that vibrant poppy look. So tint color 32%, tint intensity 14%. Make sure your temperature's on 0 because we're going to edit that in game. And then vibrance on 72. If you have it on 100, it just looks a little bit too much and can hurt your eyes a little bit. But this is literally perfect for the Season 2 Reloaded update. And then lastly, brightness and contrast. These are a little bit more complex. So take a screenshot, and the only 2 you really need to worry about is shadows and highlights. Shadows is going to make those dark areas, obviously the shadows in the game, not look as dark and you'll be able to see your enemies easier. And highlights, again, that's going to draw out that darkness in those dark corners to be able to see your enemies better. So make sure you have these exact values. So minus 78% for shadows and minus 62% for highlights. Secondly, your in-game graphics settings. Again, these are really important. I'm going to scroll all the way through display, so then you can take a screenshot of these. These are specifically important apart from brightness. So with these filters, obviously every monitor is a little bit different, so play around with it. But for me, 48 is perfect. So anywhere between 48 and 52 is absolutely spot on. So I'll go back from that, and then looking at quality. These are really important. So you want the best graphics and the best response time, so the best performance of the game. And these settings that I've got have been amazing for me, so you should definitely give these a try. As I'm scrolling through, take a screenshot, take note. I'm gonna go through the main ones. So anti-aliasing, Filmic, T2X, you want that, otherwise it looks really grainy and shimmery on the edges. This is perfect. Have the quality level on normal and video memory scale on 90. I'm going to scroll through details and textures, so just copy these. You want to also make sure, where is it? Shadow map resolution normal, really important. Everything else low. Spot cache on ultra. That's more for in-game glitches and hitches. You want that on ultra because the game's a little bit buggy. Everything else just copy as I go. Always have an NVIDIA Reflex low latency on plus boost. Always have that. If you haven't got an NVIDIA driver, then obviously you can't use this, but that is really important. And then moving on to view. So field of view doesn't affect your graphics. It just makes you be able to see a lot more of the game. So again, I'm going to scroll through these and make sure you have ADS field of view unaffected too. So I'll scroll through those, take a screenshot. And then lastly, the interface. Again, these are really important. So I'm going to scroll down to color customization. Use filter 2. Color target on both. Have the world intensity on 100, that's in-game. Interface intensity on 100 too, that's like at the menus, that's personal preference, doesn't matter too much. But I always have both on 100. Have the HUD color palette on default, you don't really need to mess around with these too much. And then in terms of the Windows settings, you want to check your NVIDIA control panel. So right click on the desktop, and then you want to go to show more options if you're on Windows 11. If not, it should come up like this on Windows 10. There's a couple of sections on here that are really important. Some people show really in-depth analysis of each section. There's some sections that are really important, but some aren't. So I'm just going to show you the main sections for graphics and the best vibrance. It looks best in game and for performance. So for manage 3D settings, I'm going to scroll through these and make sure you take a screenshot. A really important one as well, which a lot of people don't realize, is low latency mode. You want to have that on off because in the game you have on plus boost. So if you have that on, it actually counteracts it and it doesn't affect or help your latency at all. Then for change resolution, you want to make sure it's set to exactly what your monitor is. So for me, 1920 by 1080 and 144 Hz is the max. Again, do that for both monitors if you have to. When you've done that, press apply. Then adjust desktop color settings. This is actually quite important. For me, I have it on 50%. But you can mess around with this. We use NVIDIA filters, which help massively in-game. And say if you're clipping stuff and you want to edit it in Adobe or whatever editing software you use, these settings don't actually help. So if you've used digital vibrance before, and you've like cranked that all the way to like 78, 80, 90, 100 or whatever you have, then you go to edit a video and it doesn't look like there's any brightness or digital vibrance benefit, that'll be the reason. So I keep all these on their basic values. Everything else you can pretty much skip. Then go to adjust video color settings. Make sure you have NVIDIA settings on, so it's ticked, and in advanced have it on full. And the same for both monitors. If you have one monitor that's not, it can affect your graphics in game and cause a little bit of hitching or stuttering, or kind of, like your graphics are loading properly. Video image settings are also important. Again, have these on NVIDIA for both. You don't have to mess around with the values here. Just make sure NVIDIA settings are on for both and tick this setting here as well. Next, there's 2 settings you need to change. So if you type in game mode, you want to make sure game mode is on. Then also you want to make sure that you've got each app customized that you're going to use. So for me, Adobe's on high performance because I use it a lot. I want it to run smoothly, but most importantly for Call of Duty, I want to have that on high performance. All you do, you then browse your PC, find the folder for Call of Duty, select it, use it here, and then you can click that and you can change it to high performance. So options, then change it to high performance. So Windows has decided it's high performance for me, so I don't have to click it there, but I can do just to make sure. And the last part, which is not really mainly for graphics, but it does help if your game runs smoother, the graphics look better. So type in power, so edit power plan, power options, and make sure you have that on ultimate performance if you've got the option, or if not, high performance, and that's going to dramatically help boost your performance of your game, but also the graphics too. And here's a clip of these graphics settings in game and how easy it is to see little Timmy's camping in the corner.